Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share this course with you tonight. The ABC of Bitcoin, blockchain, and crypto trading. This is really just an overview course of what Bitcoin is, where it comes from, cryptocurrency in general, blockchain, how it works, how Bitcoin is built on the blockchain, and of course, crypto trading. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about BitBuyBit, who we are, where we come from. Then in module 1, we're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to particularly look at the history and the early history of the volatility of the coin. And we're going to look at a lot of terminology and some definitions as to what people, when they talk about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, what they refer to as what it means. There's a lot of names for it. Then we're going to look a little bit at blockchain and blockchain technology, how Bitcoin is built on the blockchain technology. And then in module 2, we're going to look at exchanges. I'm going to share with you some characteristics of what a reputable exchange looks like and what you need to know when you register on an exchange, and of course the purpose of an exchange. And then in module 3, we are going to discuss crypto trading. And I'm really going to just give you a drop in the ocean and show you, if you do want to trade with cryptocurrencies, what exactly it look like. And then, of course, if you want to go into more depth in terms of trading, you know what you need to do and who you need to contact. My name is Nelda Leach, and this is my husband with me in the photo. His name is Leach, and I'm very sure that you are going to get to see him very soon. And he is an absolute crypto expert. He's also a crypto coach, and we have been doing crypto and heading up a crypto academy for the past 6 years. So we've started our early days. We were involved in all sorts of schemes and scams. Not really scams. We didn't know at the time, but we were part of a scheme, if I can put it like that. And soon after this scheme folded, and Roel and I decided that we were going to educate people so that they don't fall prey for any of these schemes and scams out there. Far too many people are getting hurt, far too many people are losing their money, and just because they're not educated. So during the time that Roel and I were involved with this scheme, I'm not going to mention any names, but when we were involved with this scheme, Bitcoin just started and we had to pay our subscriptions in Bitcoin. And if in the beginning, we didn't even know what Bitcoin was or where Bitcoin came from. And we did some research, and then Roel discovered a whole new world of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin already back then, people were trading with Bitcoin and other coins, which they then called cryptocurrencies. And Roel soon just got so involved, and every page he could find, every research he could find, he went into. And we then put a course together back then, one on crypto trading, and on my side, what Bitcoin is and the history of Bitcoin. And believe it or not, but my very first course was only 2 pages long. And I passionately taught people about Bitcoin and what it is and what a wallet address is, and how you can buy and send Bitcoin. And that concluded my course on cryptocurrencies. But today it's a little bit more comprehensive. Again, still just an overview, but this ABC course of Bitcoin, blockchain, and crypto trading really originated because a friend of mine contacted me about 6 months ago, and she said, Nelda, I know you guys do Bitcoin. And a colleague that works with her said that he invested 5,000 Rand in a cryptocurrency exchange, and that the lady that he invested it with in this cryptocurrency exchange said that the next week he could get 18,000 Rand, but he still had to pay another 1,500 Rand to get his 18,000 Rand. And the very first thing I said to her, I said, my friend, I'm sorry, but this work colleague of you got himself involved in a Ponzi scheme. And she just wouldn't believe it. I said, but, you know, just the way you're explaining it to me, I can immediately recognize this as a Ponzi scheme. This guy is going to lose all his money. And the fact that this woman, whoever she is asking for more money is really a warning sign that he may have already fallen prey for a Ponzi scheme. And, you know, this is the very reason why we want to educate the people, because when I said to her that this is not an exchange, she argued with me. And I said to her, an exchange doesn't do what you just explained to me. And I really sat down and I gave it some thought, and I said to Roel, my love, I believe that there's a group of people that we need to target, because we have got a curriculum of 7 levels deep of training on cryptocurrency and crypto trading, how to trade and how to make your own money more, and most importantly, how to be in charge and in control of your own funds and of your own money, because this is our philosophy. This is what we stand for. So, but we realize that there's a group of people out there that knows nothing. And that's the target market that I really want to help. And by the way, this course is for free. It's an hour-and-a-half course, completely free, to educate people on what to expect and what the exchange is, and what they do and how to register, etc., etc. So my friend, unfortunately, her colleague did lose all his money. It was a scheme, a Ponzi scheme, that had exactly the same name as one of our South African local exchanges. And sadly, she still didn't believe me, but a week later she phoned me and she said, Nelda, I'm very sorry, but I now understand what you tried to explain to me. So needless to say, you know, sometimes the gurus say that when you do something, when you write a course or when you write something, do it with some people in mind. And I wrote this course with her and a few other people in mind, to educate her and amongst everybody else listening to this course tonight, to really just educate you so that you are able to make informative decisions. So this is who we are. Will and I are passionate teachers, but we're also cryptocurrency experts. We're also both life coaches, and we are passionate about what we teach and who we teach it to. So really, we don't want you to look like this ever. We teach and educate you on how to be in control of your own funds. No brokers, no middleman, no people out there. We educate you how to do this yourself. If it's just to register on an exchange, if it's just to be able to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, we want you to be able to do it yourself. Far too many people look like this when they get involved in schemes and scams. And I'm sure whoever you are, whichever country you are listening from, that you either have yourself fell prey to people that operate a scheme, or you know of somebody that lost all their money in a possible scheme or scam. We do not want you to look like this. We want you to succeed and to stand in victory. So welcome to our world of cryptocurrency. I'm going to share this video with you, and it's a video of Robert Kiyosaki. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because I am passionate about people to be able to change their mindset. Anything that's new in life requires it may require you to change your mindset around that. Now, I grew up as the only child, and my father, being a retired chartered accountant, an amazing man, but he had some very rigid ideas when it came to money. And 7 years ago, when I met my husband, I really, really, really had to change my mindset in a big way, because the mindset I had was you would get your salary on the 27th of the month, and only that salary can pay for your provident fund as well as your medical aid, no other money. So you work 30 days to get paid once. And when I met my husband and he asked me, why do you work 30 days and you only get paid once? I couldn't answer him, because in my mind, I couldn't even think of any other options. So just because of the way I grew up and because of my belief systems. So when I came across this video, I'm going to show to you right now, it really just affirmed a lot of the things about my belief system. And I really want to share it with you, because maybe you are exactly where I was 7 years ago, and where I was for 40 years prior to that, just because of how I grew up and my mindset then. So enjoy this with me.
The most obsolete idea is go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, get out of debt, and invest for the long term in the stock market. See, why would you save money when they're printing trillions of dollars? The gap between the 1% and 99% is massive. You see, it's not just money. You have to step back and look at the bigger picture.
So what do you do?
In every one of us is a poor person. There's still a poor person inside me. There's also a middle class person, and the middle class persons want security. They want that steady paycheck. And there's a rich person. And they're all inside of us, except that it's not taught. You're taught to go to school, get a job, and get a paycheck. You're not taught how to get rich. If you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, my rich dad refused to pay me. He said the paycheck was one of the most damaging things you could take in your life. He says the moment you take a paycheck, you're an employee, and that's the mindset. So my rich dad never paid me. He drove my poor dad, government employee, nuts. You gotta pay people, you gotta pay people. And Rich Dad was not saying that the paycheck was bad. He says you didn't want to be a slave to money. So as an entrepreneur, if Rich Dad folded, I just started another company. I don't need a paycheck. I don't need anybody to take care of me. If my government doesn't like me, I move to another country, because they need entrepreneurs there. So the entrepreneur is not so much the business. The entrepreneur is really the mindset and the skill sets and the different set of rules. You see, I don't operate, small business does not operate in the same rules as big business. Entrepreneur is a mindset first, a skill set, and rules. And depending upon whether you're an employee or a small business, the rules are different. The mindsets are different, the skill sets are different.
You could say one thing to somebody who's never been an entrepreneur and they're thinking about making the leap of faith into becoming an entrepreneur. What could you tell them?
Well, I'll just tell them the same thing that happened to me. My last paycheck, I still remember it clearly. It was one of the worst and the best days of my life. And I was in Puerto Rico. I was working for Xerox, and my boss gave me my last, it wasn't a paycheck, it was a bonus check. I think it was about $30,000, taxable. It's the only problem with that. So I got this check and I went, holy mackerel. You know what I mean? So I was excited, but I was also disturbed. And so this other guy comes up to me, his name was John, and John says to me, he says, you're gonna be back. I said, why? He says, because you're gonna fail. I looked at him and said, look, few expletive words, because that's what he did. He left Xerox, failed, and he came back. And I said, look, you failed and you came back, but I'm gonna fail and I'm never coming back. And that's the attitude. Do you know what I mean? If you say, well, if I fail, I'll go back to mommy and daddy, then that's what you'll do. So if you fail, that's when I became an entrepreneur, because I had no money. I had no money for years. You know, I didn't have a paycheck. But that's what my rich dad encouraged me to do. He says, when you don't have this paycheck, you get hungrier, smarter, and it's a test of your character. Will you become a crook? Will you become dishonest? Will you cheat and steal? Or will you become a better human being? So really, that's the benefit of becoming an entrepreneur, is you really find out who you are when you don't have anything.
This really made such an impression on me. And I just wanted to share that with you, because I also lost everything in my life. And I really had to lose everything to discover who I was and what I can be and what I can achieve in life.
The most obsolete.
So we live in an era where digital currency and artificial intelligence have become a reality, more so after the worldwide 2020 lockdown. Looking back made me realize that our future and the way we do business have significantly changed. The onus, though, is on us to get educated and adapt to ever-changing technology instead of being paralyzed by fear of the unknown. Let's look at cryptocurrency, or crypto as it often is referred to. It is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange wherein individual coin ownership records are stored in a ledger existing in a form of computerized database using a strong cryptography to secure transaction records, to control the creation of additional coins, and to verify the transfer of coin ownership. That's quite a mouthful. So let's simply put, look at what cryptocurrencies are. They are electronic peer-to-peer currencies and completely decentralized. They don't physically exist. You can't pick up a Bitcoin or an altcoin, and you cannot hold it in your hand. Module 1, Bitcoin and blockchain. Let's look at the history of Bitcoin. In 2008, Bitcoin was first mentioned in a newspaper, where an alleged Japanese gentleman with the name of Satoshi Nakamoto was mentioned being the founder of Bitcoin. There's been much speculation as to the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto is presumed to be a pseudonym for a person or people who designed the original Bitcoin protocol in 2008 and launched the network in 2009. Bitcoin is often referred to as digital or virtual currency, virtual money, or cryptocurrency, and is built on a technology called the blockchain. Yes, Bitcoin is not something that you can print, touch, feel, or store in your safe or in your wallet. Bitcoin is virtual. Bitcoins are created as a reward for a process called Bitcoin mining. They can be exchanged for other currencies, products, and services, but the real world value of these coins are extremely volatile. Let's look at the volatility. Between 2009 and 2010, Bitcoin had practically no value. But between February 2010 and July 2011, Bitcoin reached $31. It dropped down to $2 after a few months. But between December 2011 and December 2012, Bitcoin once again rised up to $13. Pretty volatile, I would say. In April 2013, wow, Bitcoin went up to $266. Sadly, it once again dropped again to $130. And on the 27th of November 2013, Bitcoin recorded an ultimately high of $1,250. Oh my word, this was way too expensive. And from where Bitcoin came, just in between 2009 and 2010, where it virtually had no value, and it went up and down to 1,250 US dollars. Pretty volatile, I would say. During April 2014, Bitcoin reached its lowest again. So from 1,250, dropped straight down to 340 US dollars. This was when most of us have been introduced to Bitcoin. But during November 2015, the Bitcoin price once again spiked and left us paying over 504 US dollars per Bitcoin. Now, I just want to say to you that during this time, people said to us that Bitcoin would reach 20,000 US dollars in the next year. And we didn't quite believe them. But guess what? A few weeks ago, the Bitcoin price that we paid for Bitcoin was over 60,000 US dollars. It once again dropped again. And in fact, this wasn't a few weeks ago, it was a few months ago when I did these slides. So the Bitcoin price reached 60,000 US dollars about 4 months ago. It fell down to 40,000 US dollars. And once again, it was recorded just over 60,000 US dollars yesterday. So you can just see how volatile, one, how volatile it is, two, the value of Bitcoin. Now, I want to encourage you to go and do your own study between 2015 and 2021 to actually see what Bitcoin did, the ultimate highs and the ultimate lows, and to where it is today. Because just imagine if you bought Bitcoin 10 years ago, where you would have been, what your Bitcoin would have been worth today. And let me tell you, there's a lot of people that did, and there's a lot of people that is still holding their cryptocurrency or their Bitcoin. Fact is, it is clear that Bitcoin is here to stay, and that more and more people are looking at various options to buy and to trade with this unique digital currency. Bitcoin uses peer-to-peer technology to facilitate instant payments. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins mined. So there is a limit. And you know, whenever there's a limit on something, or a limited edition, it becomes extremely valuable. So Bitcoin has 8 decimal places. These 8 decimal places enable us, access to Bitcoin without having to buy a whole Bitcoin. So you don't have to buy a full unit. So you're not going to pay 60,000 US dollars to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can take 150,000 Rand, or you can take 1,000 US dollars, and you can buy a portion of a Bitcoin. And this is what makes it so amazing. So you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin, just a portion. So when we look at Bitcoin, it's 1,8 spaces or 8 zeros and BTC, so that's 1 Bitcoin. If you're just going to buy a portion of the Bitcoin, it's going to reflect a 0.000000123, for example, BTC, or we refer to it as 123 Satoshis. All right. Peer-to-peer, in a P2P network, the peers are computer systems. So it's all it is. It's just a computer. A peer-to-peer network means it's my computer to your computer. And our computers are both connected to the internet. And that way, I can send whatever you can send. There's no central server. So if there was a central server, I would send a request to the server will send it to you. You will send it back to the server will send it back to me. But when it comes to peer-to-peer, it's my computer to your computer, directly connected to the internet. So you are connected to the internet, I'm connected to the internet, and we can basically do the same thing. So we can have the same command, the same response. We can share. I can share what you can share. All right. Digital currency is any currency, money or money-like asset that is mainly managed, stored, or exchanged on a digital computer system, especially over the internet. They are only accessible on computers or mobile phones, as they only exist in electronic form. Since digital currencies require no intermediary, they are often the cheapest method to trade currencies or to send a gift to somebody else, or to just send it from one exchange to another. However, I've put fees in brackets because some cryptocurrencies have become very expensive. Even Bitcoin has become very expensive to send for various reasons. But there are other cryptocurrencies where the fees are not that expensive. But we'll get to that a little bit later. There's a slide specifically just on fees. I want you to remember. It's not that cheap anymore, but there are other ways around it. Virtual currency is also terminology referred to when we talk about cryptocurrencies, or virtual money is a type of unregulated, decentralized digital currency which is issued and usually controlled by its developers, used and accepted amongst the members of a specific virtual community. A decentralized payment system or a decentralized system is one which requires multiple parties to make their own independent decisions. In such a decentralized system, there's no single centralized authority that makes decisions on behalf of all the parties. So there isn't one centralized bank or authority that would make decisions. Everybody can make their own independent decisions in a decentralized system. Blockchain technology. Blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it difficult or impossible to change, hack, or cheat the system. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across the entire network of computer systems on the blockchain. Blockchain is a structure that stores transactional records, also known as the block, of the public in several databases, known as the chain. In a network connected through peer-to-peer nodes, remember peer-to-peer nodes are just computers, typically this storage is referred to as a digital ledger. Blockchain is the public record of all Bitcoin transactions. The blockchain can be viewed by anyone and can be used to determine how many Bitcoins were attached to any Bitcoin address at any given time. One place to be able to easily view this information is blockchain.com. So if you have a Bitcoin address, you can add this Bitcoin address to blockchain.com, and it will tell you exactly how many Bitcoins were sent from this address to another one. For instance, this says this address has transacted 477 times on the Bitcoin blockchain. It has received a total of 12.92 BTC or 773,000 US dollars, and has sent a total of 12.8 BTC. So the current value, it gives you a lot of information. And I want to encourage you to go have a look at it. It's public. Everybody can see it. What you can't see is who those addresses belong to. And but the fact that it is public makes it amazing. Look, let me tell you, whoever created Bitcoin, whoever created blockchain, and the reasons behind it was brilliant. Up until today, there's no single person that claimed authority on who created it and why they were created. We know, but who it was created by, nobody knows. And whether it was just one person or whether it was a group of people, I don't mind, as long as we are able to use it. I value what they've done. I value the opportunity what they've given us to be able to maneuver ourselves around, to be able to trade, to be able to be independent, and to be able to do transactions across border, to be able to send somebody cryptocurrencies who sits in another country. And to trade and make my coins more. So I would love to show you this video. I'm going to give video credit as well here. And this is by far the simplest explanation about cryptocurrency. I really love this video, so enjoy it.
When you want to buy something normally, using your normal bank card, this is what happens. I give my card details to the shop asks the bank if I'm good for the money. The bank checks its records to see if I've got enough in my account. If I do, it lets the shop know. It updates its records to show the movement of money from my account to the shop's. Oh, and it takes a little cut for its trouble. Now, if you wanted to remove the bank from that system, who else would you trust to keep those records and not alter them or cheat in any way? Well, I wouldn't trust you. I wouldn't trust you. In fact, I wouldn't trust any single person, but I might trust everyone. The idea is you don't have a central record of transactions. Instead, you distribute many, many copies of this ledger around the world. Each owner of each copy records every transaction. So, to buy something using cryptocurrency, I give the shop my details. The shop asks all the bookkeepers if I'm good for the money. The bookkeepers all check their records to see if I have enough. If I do, they tell the shop, and then all update their records to show the movement of money. So there's no way that a forged transaction can make it in. If I try to alter a ledger, it won't match all of the other copies, and it gets rejected. Oh, and one of them, at random, will be given a reward of some newly created cryptocurrency. This is how cryptocurrencies work. And remember, all of these bookkeepers, all of these ledgers, they're not actually people, they're computers. Lots of computers.
Now, isn't that absolutely amazing? I love this. It's such a practical explanation of what it is. So hope you enjoyed it with me. How the blockchain works. I'm going to show you another little video, and there's so much value in this. It's so, look, I love the doodles or the doodlies, because I think in pictures, and I'm a picture person. So I really love this video, and I'm going to share this with you because this is, in a nutshell, everything that Bitcoin and blockchain is. Enjoy this.
Blockchain is peer-to-peer software technology that protects the integrity of a digital piece of information. It was invented to create the alternative currency Bitcoin, but may be used for other cryptocurrencies, online signature services, voting systems, and many other applications. In this video, we explain how it works and what makes it special. Everyone uses paper money. When you get a $10 bill, you trust that it's not fake. If instead someone sent you an email saying, "Here's $10, you probably wouldn't trust it. But when we transfer money, use an ATM, or pay with a deposit card, that's pretty much exactly what we do. We're sending money and a digital message. To make sure no one's cheating or sending money they don't have, these messages go through a few trusted banks that keep a record of everything. They know how much money everyone has and deduct it properly for every transaction. But this becomes expensive when there's a million transactions around the world every minute. The Economist estimates that banks charged us more than $1.7 trillion to process these payments in 2014. That's about 2% of the entire world economy. With blockchain, we can save a lot of this cost because it lets us send money just like sending an email. Instead of sending a lot of payment information through a few servers, Blockchain uses thousands of personal computers on the internet. All transactions are copied and cross-checked between every computer in a system-wide accounting book called the ledger, which becomes very safe at scale. Blockchain doesn't just allow us to create safe money online, it lets us protect any piece of digital information. This could be online identity cards, voter ballots, contracts, and many other legal instruments, bringing bureaucracy into the 21st century.
So now that you know how Bitcoin works and the blockchain, let's have a look at Bitcoin mining. I'm not going to go into depth about Bitcoin mining, other than just a little bit of information. Okay. Bitcoin mining is a record-keeping service done through the use of computer processing power. Bitcoin mining is the process of creating new Bitcoins by solving a computational puzzle. Obviously, you want to know where Bitcoin comes from originally. So actually, all it is a computer that is solving a very difficult mathematical sum or an algorithm. And the reward for solving that process or solving that mathematical problem is a Bitcoin. So this process is called Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin miners receive Bitcoin as a reward for completing blocks of verified transactions which are added to the blockchain. This is what it looks like. It's computers. And generally there are Bitcoin farms, and it's massive warehouses with lots and lots of computers, and they're all wired and connected to each other. Now, of course, you can have your own machine sitting in your lounge or in your garage doing your own Bitcoin mining, but we would not advise you to do that because depending on load shedding, you're in South Africa, maybe you're sitting in a different country, you're in Europe or in America, you're in a very hot place. Computers need to be very cool because these computers are running 24/7. Takes a lot of electricity as well. And at the end of the day, it might not be worth your while. Every 4 years, the Bitcoin mining process halves. In other words, it becomes more and more difficult. It takes longer, apart from the fact that it becomes more and more difficult to mine, the process slows down every 4 years. So why would you want to mine if you can buy Bitcoin and trade with it, or buy other cryptocurrencies and trade with it and make your money more? So this is what the computers look like, and just imagine these large farms. So let's have a look a little bit at a Bitcoin wallet. So you've learned a little bit about a Bitcoin. You know where it comes from. You've heard at the history. You know that Bitcoins are being mined, or you can also buy Bitcoins on an exchange, which we'll get to a little bit later. But where do you store your Bitcoin? Once you've got Bitcoin, where do you store it? Well, you're going to store it in a Bitcoin wallet. And this is what a Bitcoin wallet address looks like. So a Bitcoin wallet address is a string of between 27 and 34 alphanumerical characters that represents a destination of a Bitcoin payment and contains a private key. And so inside this long string of numbers, there is a private key, and the amount of Bitcoin that I send to you or somebody else sent to me will then be in that private key. All right. It's very important that when you send Bitcoin, or any other cryptocurrency for that matter, but when you send Bitcoin, you must send Bitcoin to a Bitcoin wallet, from a Bitcoin wallet address to another Bitcoin wallet address. There are so many coins out there, and every coin has got their own wallet address. So you got to stick to the same. If you send XRP, you send it from an XRP address to another XRP address. If you send Ethereum, you send it from an Ethereum wallet address to an Ethereum wallet address on the other side. If it's Litecoin, you stick to from Litecoin to Litecoin. You cannot send Bitcoin to Litecoin address. You cannot send Litecoin to a Bitcoin address. because as that transaction gets verified on the blockchain, you will lose your cryptocurrencies because it's not going to recognize it and it's not going to validate or verify that transaction. So it's very important, stick to the same coin. A tip: when you start sending and somebody also asks you, say for instance, you're going to send Bitcoin to me, then you are going to ask me what my Bitcoin wallet address is. When I give it to you, I am only going to copy and paste that address, because it's too easy to make a mistake. So when you copy and paste it, you know that you are able to, or that it's correct. And you just, I'm going to send them. So I'm going to copy and paste it in my exchange or my wallet provider, and I'm going to send it through to you. And you again going to copy and paste it from the email or however I communicated with you, and you're going to then paste it into your exchange where you do your withdrawal. All right. So always copy and paste. Remember that. A Bitcoin wallet is a software program in which Bitcoins are stored. Technically, Bitcoins are not stored anywhere, but Bitcoin wallet facilitate the sending and the receiving of Bitcoins and give ownership of the Bitcoin balance to the user. So as I'm sending or receiving Bitcoin into my wallet address, you can say it works similar to a bank account. This is your account, but you also then become the owner of the Bitcoin that was sent to you. So a Bitcoin wallet comes in many forms. You can store it on your desktop. You can store it on your mobile phone or a mobile application, or you can store it on the web or in a hardware wallet. Now, hardware wallet, I don't have any with me right now, but it looks like a flash disk. And there's a lot of private keys, but you can actually take your Bitcoin and take it from your computer and or your exchange into a hardware wallet, and it will be on again a private key on your hardware wallet, so you can take it out of the exchange and you can keep it one side, and when you're ready to put it back on the exchange, you can do so, and you can then either withdraw to fiat currency, or you can then trade with it, whatever you would like to do, or send it to somebody else or gift it to somebody else. So there are currently many wallet providers available online. It is advisable to research before choosing a reliable provider. Very important. As a result, the user must have complete trust in the wallet provider. A malicious provider or a breach in server security may cause entrusted Bitcoins to be stolen. Folks, I want to say to you, far too many fly-by-night companies. It's too easy to just set up a website, and it's too easy to just get everything in place, and you're providing a wallet address or an exchange, and then you get hacked if you do not have the necessary security in place. And if you as a client sign in on this particular exchange, and they don't have their security in place and get hacked, you lose all your Bitcoin. You lose absolutely everything. So it's really very important to make sure that your wallet provider or the exchange that you buy onto or into or register onto is reliable and reputable. So this brings me to, or brings us to module 2, exchanges. A cryptocurrency exchange or a digital currency exchange is a business that allows customers to buy, sell, and or trade their cryptocurrencies or digital currencies for other assets, such as conventional fiat money or other digital currencies. Exchanges are internet-based. So an exchange is online, all right? In order for you to make a deposit on an exchange, or just to buy into cryptocurrencies, you have to register. There is a process of registration, and we'll get to that in the next few slides. But just know it's just internet based. It's just a company like any other company, and you are able to buy, sell, or trade with cryptocurrencies. Normally there are a whole list of coins. I'll show you as well. And most important is that you are able to use your own fiat currency. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, whether you use US dollars, whether you use pound, whether you use euros, whether you use other foreign currencies. Every country has exchanges. They've got a lot of it. There's international exchanges. As a South African, we can also go onto international exchanges. So the most important thing is to always remember that it's got to be a reputable exchange. So how do we choose? How do you make sure that the exchange is right and a reputable exchange? The first thing is they must be familiar with your crypto coach. If you don't have a crypto coach and you are entering this market of cryptocurrency, get yourself a crypto coach and make sure that your crypto coach knows what they are talking about. Do some research, stick to reputable internet sites. Folks, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of sites out there. They are fly-by-nights. They are not reputable. So please talk to other people. Don't just Google and sign up with the first available internet site. You must be able to see a contactable telephone number on the site. All right, if there's no telephone number, just imagine this. You take your fiat money and you put it in this exchange. Okay, you sign up with this exchange, you take your fiat money because now you want to buy your cryptocurrency. So you deposit it onto this exchange and your money doesn't reflect. 2 days go by and your money doesn't reflect. What's the first thing you would want to do? You want to pick up the phone and phone these people. But if there's no contactable telephone number, or there's a there is a contact number, but there's 1 digit short, or there's no country code, whatever the case may be, before you register on to an exchange, make sure that those people can be contacted. That in case anything goes wrong with your money, it doesn't show after a while, that you are able to contact somebody and that they can assist you straight away. A support email address, very important. Send them a test email. Say, listen, I just want to make sure I'm signing up on your exchange and I just want to see the support email address is, do I have a response within 24 hours at least? Photos of the team, you know, any website that's got faces on that you can see who they are. There's names with them. There's a whole team of people. Is definitely already one step in the right direction of having knowing that you're dealing with a reputable exchange. And then, of course, if there's a company registration number, that makes it all more legal and trustworthy. A reliable and reputable exchange will ask for your ID, passport, and proof of residence. Folks, they will ask you to upload these documents. You must be able to load your own bank account details when you want to withdraw in your own fiat currency. So when you sign up with an exchange, ask the question, make it your business to see where you can upload your own bank account details. Just imagine this. You're going to take your fiat money, you're going to deposit onto an exchange. In the exchange, you are going to exchange or buy cryptocurrency with that money. You may just gift that money to somebody else, or you may want to start trading with cryptocurrencies or use your Bitcoin to buy into other coins. Okay, but at some point in time, you're either going to make money or the value of the coins are going to go up, and you've naturally gained more just because of the value, and you want to now withdraw that money back into your fiat currency. How will you do that? But if you are able to upload your own personal bank account details onto the exchange, you will be able to withdraw that money straight back to your own fiat currency. And this is very important. You must be able to register yourself and not through a broker. Folks, I cannot stress this enough. If somebody comes to you and say, woo, I can help you to register on on this exchange. You give me the money and I will register on your behalf. Please run. Please don't do that. Don't entertain that. We can teach you to register on a site or onto an exchange. We can coach you. We can tell you who the reputable exchanges are, but be very wary when there's all these other people and say that they want to do it on your behalf. They might not all be legit. Let me tell you, whenever there's a broker, you will walk out there broker. There are South African as well as internationally based exchanges. Always stay current with information and technology. Make it your business to know more. So these are one of the exchanges that we are using globally. As South African residents, we are also able to register on this particular exchange. It is international. Just always remember that different exchanges got different rules. They might be doing some slight different things. They also look slightly different, but they all have graphs, they all have indicators, they all reflect in your local currency as well, US dollars and Bitcoin. In South Africa, you would also have the exchanges would also reflect in Rand. There's always a list of coins. There's the daily rates. There's the, I'll show you here on this exchange, where they actually show you the last 24-hour high and the last 24-hour low. In other words, the price of this particular coin. In this instance, it's Bitcoin on this example, but it could be any other coin. So it shows you how high it went and how low it went in a 24-hour window period. It also gives you the sell price as well as the current buy price. Also gives you the volume. So volume would tell you at this point in time how much Bitcoin would be in this particular market. All right, and that would give you a good idea of how many people are busy trading this particular coin at this particular point in time. If the volume is very low, so people trading it's less than a Bitcoin, I wouldn't really waste my time to trade that particular coin. But in this case, it's over 17 Bitcoins, which means it's quite a large volume of people trading. This is a South African site. On an international site exchange, this might be 5 to 10 times more, because obviously there's a lot more people trading. So you will have a greater benefit for trading on a global exchange versus just one exchange in South Africa. However, if you are in South African residence and you're not in Europe or in any of the other countries, America or Australia, New Zealand, then you can comfortably trade on a South African exchange. It's not a problem. But I know a lot of South Africans also love to trade on international. But if you are going to use the exchange for the purpose just to buy and to send a gift, then of course it doesn't really matter which exchange you're going to use. But if you really want to take it one step further and you want to test the water and you want to start trading, then absolutely go for it and choose the exchange that you want to use. So yeah, they'll as I say, all exchanges have the same, not necessarily the same layout, but they offer you a list of coins, and obviously every coin that they have, they also have, each and every one have their own wallet address. And just make sure that when you do send cryptocurrencies from your exchange to somebody else's exchange, and the exchanges are different from one another, that exchanges don't always have the same coins. And it's important for you to then ask the question that, you know, does the exchange have that particular coin before you arrange to send it. All right, so all exchanges have a graph, and you are also able to read these graphs in a 5-minute graph, a 1-hour graph, a 4-hour graph, a 1-day graph, a 30-day graph. So you are able to to distinguish and read the graphs accordingly. There's also an order book where you buy and you sell. The order book would obviously also consist of you are buying from people selling and you are selling to people buying. But when you get to register on the exchange and start buying, you will soon learn and maneuver your way around the exchange. So that's just an example of two exchanges. The one was international and the other one was here local in South Africa. When it comes to first entering this world, you need to understand the conversions between dollar, Bitcoin, and Rand. Obviously, there's between your own fiat currency, whatever that may be. It may be dollar, it may be South African Rand. There is an exchange rate, and this fluctuates on a daily basis. But then there's Bitcoin, and there's also a value of Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin price also goes up and down, just like the dollar price go up and down against other commodities or against other currencies. So this is the hardest thing sometimes for new people to understand, the conversions and the value as it go up and down, and especially if you start buying, because as you buy, you also buy an amount of coins. So it's a lot of figures, but don't worry. You know what, you are in safe hands. If you do one of our trading courses, we will coach you, we will teach you step by step, bit by bit. That's who we are. But if you're just going to buy for gifting purposes, absolutely, we will even hold your hand there, no problem. We are also part of the gifting community. So we'll be there. The Bitcoin price goes up and down, like I've already said. Prices fluctuate. Remember that the buying price of Bitcoin may be lower than the actual price of the Bitcoin on the exchange. So don't get confused when you get there and ask the questions, oh my, but this is the Bitcoin price. Why am I buying? Why is my buying price less and my selling price, etc.? So don't worry about all of those things. You will learn a lot about it. I just want to give you a tip. Get a diary, start recording the Bitcoin price, the Rand, dollar, whatever your local currency is, start against the Bitcoin. If you enter this world, this journey, start writing these things down. All right, there's a reason for it. So exchange and conversion rates and fees. Remember we spoke about fees. I want to show you that when you send Bitcoin from one exchange or one wallet address on an exchange to another exchange, it can cost you. This was, I must be honest with you, this slide was done a good few months ago, and some of these prices have virtually almost doubled. So it's very expensive to send Bitcoin. So if you have to send $100 to somebody, and you're going to send it Bitcoin to Bitcoin, a Bitcoin address to another Bitcoin address, it's going to cost you anything between 400 and 600 Rand, or about 50. Let me just work this out quickly, because I'm now converting to, say it's 600 Rand, divided by the exchange rate, $40. It could cost you $40 just to send it. This is just a fee. So at the end of the day, be very careful. Then you're going to have to send $140. Otherwise, that person is going to not get $100 US on their side. There are coins that's much cheaper. A Dash coin, for instance, XLM. It was 7 Rand then, it's slightly more right now. Litecoin is not that bad, or Tron. So what you're going to do is you're going to buy Bitcoin on the exchange, and with your Bitcoin, you're going to buy XLM, and then you withdraw from your XLM wallet and you ask the other person's XLM wallet address. So you'll be sending XLM to their XLM wallet address. And so at the end of the day, there are cheaper options, but there are also fees, and it's important to understand how these fees work. So when you buy Bitcoin, you would have to register on an exchange, please make sure that you register with your legal name as per your ID document, your ID card or your passport, as you will be required to upload a copy of your ID, passport and proof of residence, both South African and international exchanges. FICA is an essential part of the process. Please don't put, if your name is Petrus Johannes, don't just put Piet, because it is when you get to doing your FICA verification, you have to upload all your documents. They are just going to throw it out and say, I'm sorry, you can't do this. Every exchange has its own verification process, and this could sometimes be very frustrating as the verification process is very strict, and they've got different levels of going through the verification process. And sometimes in some exchanges, the levels of verification is not even the same for two people. So my verification process may have to blink my eyes, shake my head, nod my head, and for somebody else, they have to do something completely different. So, and it is very strict. Your photos that you upload have to have a certain criteria. But you know what? I'm just telling you all these things that you are aware, that you do know this. But at the end of the day, we are here to hold your hand. We are here to help you. So different exchanges may have different rules, so they might be doing things slightly differently. What I want to share with you is that the world price on Bitcoin and the local exchanges prices are different from one each other. You can pay between 5 and 8% more for cryptocurrencies in South Africa than what you're going to pay for it on an international exchange. So when you've registered on an exchange, I want you to know that you must do a two-factor authentication. So, you know, when you register, you put your, maybe sometimes a username, or you put a username or password, not username or username, email and password. That's your first steps of verification. But now you need to do an additional verification process. And this is what we call a two-factor authentication, or sometimes called a two-step verification or dual factor authentication. So how do we do that? You would have an additional device, either a cell phone or a tablet, and we download a two-factor authenticator application, and there's a step-by-step that you would then sync your exchange with your two-factor authenticator, and then every time that you log in, you would then get to the password, and after that your second factor would kick in, and you will be required to put a PIN in before you actually get to go into your exchange. Right, so this is of utmost importance. The price of a Bitcoin is determined by supply and demand. When the demand of Bitcoins increases, the price increases, and when the demand falls, the price also falls. So I always explain it like this. You go to the market and you want to buy avocado pears, but it's not season, so there's only 4 crates of avocado pears. There's 1,000 people that wants to buy avocados. This guy is going to go and he's going to sell his avocados at a very expensive price. Okay, so there's a huge demand, very high price. But then next time you get to the market, there is 400 crates of avocado pears, and there's only 10 shops going to buy avocado pears. So what is going to happen? At the end of the day, the price is going to be very cheap because there's a very low demand, and this guy wants to get rid of his avocados. And it works very similar to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin as well. So these are your options. Now you know what Bitcoin is, so cryptocurrencies. What can you do with it? You can buy Bitcoin and you can keep it, or you can buy Bitcoin and you can trade with it, or you can buy Bitcoin and you can send a gift. So what is your strategy? The word investment doesn't really have a place in in cryptocurrencies, it is a financial terminology. So we don't really talk, when it comes to crypto, we don't use the word investment really. So I use the word investment mindset. So you can buy Bitcoin, have an investment mindset. Remember buying Bitcoin at $2 US? If you did, how much is Bitcoin today? Over 60,000 US dollars. So at the end of the day, woo-ha, you have an investment mindset and you just buy and keep. All right. Even though it fluctuates and it goes up and down, and sometimes it goes so high and then it falls to less than half, it doesn't matter. So if you buy, so that's the investment mindset, or you can buy Bitcoin and you can trade the markets. You can make your coin value more, or the amount of coins, you can make that more. And as the value of the coin increases, you would naturally have more money. Or you can send a gift. Sending your gift via crypto to anyone, anywhere in the world, from my wallet address to their wallet address. Just remember to send Bitcoin to Bitcoin or Litecoin to Litecoin. It's got to be the same. So let's look at module 3, crypto trading. What is crypto trading? So for those of you who really want to test the water and want to trade with cryptocurrencies, I have adopted 3 rules. These are my rules. You educate yourself. Rule number 1, you educate yourself and stay clear from brokers. Rule number 2, never buy high and sell low. Always follow a strategy, always have a plan, and never and know when to buy and when to sell. And this is the challenge, because we don't always know when to buy and when to sell. But let me tell you, when you do one of our courses, we will tell you exactly when to buy and when to sell. My rule number 3, keep emotions out of trading. Folks, it's a very emotional thing. And if money makes you angry, or if money makes you lose focus, if money makes you fight, if money makes you depressed, then when you start trading, you're going to have to learn to detach your emotions from that. You have to. Otherwise, you will never become a good trader. All right. But these are one of my rules. I put these rules together because these are things that I did wrong when I first started trading. I've conquered it. I've overcome it. I can coach it. I can mentor you to become a very good trader. And my husband, Rule, is an absolute expert. So you know what? You are in very good hands. What is the definition of a trader? A trader is a person who buys and sells goods, currency, or shares. In any marketplace, buying and selling is called a trade, and people who are trading are called traders. So trading with Bitcoin, altcoin, or cryptocurrencies. Trading with Bitcoin means that you buy lower and sell higher, much like you would do with anything or any commodity that you buy. The aim is to always sell higher so that you can make a profit. Let me tell you a story. When I met my husband 7 years ago, remember in the beginning I said explained what my mindset was, and in my mind I could not wrap my mind around being an entrepreneur, earning. My husband always used to say, Chiki, why do you have to work 30 days to get paid once? You should be getting paid every single day. In fact, you should be getting paid every minute of every single day. Those things just didn't make sense in my mind because I was never exposed to it. So let me tell you this story. When I met my husband 7 years ago, I was alone for a couple of years after going through a divorce, and I lost everything. After my divorce, I had to start from scratch. I lost virtually everything. My husband was in the field. He did missionary work. He was in the ministry, and he just came back from the ministry and he had nothing. So we both had nothing. So I was so excited with the day when he phoned me and he said to me, but he bought a car. So I thought, wow, he bought a car. He came to visit me that late afternoon, and I made supper for us. And not too long after that, there was a knock on the door, and I'm like, my word, I'm not expecting anybody, are you? So he said, yes. He gave people our address, or my address at that point in time, and they're coming to fetch the car. I said, well, what do you mean they're coming to fetch the car? He said, well, he sold the car. I said, well, what do you mean you sold the car? You just bought the car at 2 o'clock this afternoon. What do you mean you sold the car? At that point in time, my dad, his first car, and I mean, this is just, I'm always referring to my dad because he's an amazing man, but he had such rigid rules and beliefs. And I adopted those beliefs. I grew up with those beliefs. Now, my dad's first car, he drove his first car for 26 years. So can you just imagine the shock in my system when this guy tells me that he bought this car at 2 o'clock this afternoon and he's already selling it? Fair enough. I didn't say anything. The people left. They paid cash. He counted the money and he made 2 heaps. On the one heap, what he paid for the car, and on the other heap was 10,000 rand. Okay, and that was the profit. So he said to me, if you could make 10,000 rand on a deal in a few hours, wouldn't you want to make profit? I mean, why don't we just find 10 cars to sell and make 10 times 10,000 rand as profit? So he planted the seed, and that seed slowly started growing. Because in cryptocurrency, it works exactly the same, because this is what traders do. They buy something, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's a car, whether it's furniture, it doesn't matter, whatever it is. You buy it at a certain price and you sell it for a higher price. So you buy low and you sell high. You make a profit. So if you can do this multiple times per day, you can almost make more profit. So imagine taking 3% on every trade you do with cryptocurrency. And imagine you do this 25 times a day. Then you could increase your portfolio by 75%, permitting that the price of Bitcoin or altcoins goes up and all your trades go through. Okay? Yes, markets go up and down all the time. And sometimes they drop quite low. So if the price drops lower than what you've bought it, what do? Do you stop trading? Do you start stressing? Well, if you're an emotional trader, you will start stressing. But there's always a way around that. We teach you to trade safely. At BitBuyBit, which is who we are, the name of our company, we will teach you, or you will learn to make money even if the market drops. Sometimes you make more money when the market drops. However, having said that, we will share our strategies and our intellectual property with you, how to safely trade, and obviously being cautious. And when you sign up for one of our courses, we will share this with you. Right from the very first course, which is our Baby Traders course, we will teach you our strategies. And every course after that is more and more, or it goes deeper and deeper. That's why we call it level courses, because the strategies are the same, but there's more to it. So we slowly introduce bit by bit, introduce you to more strategies, more possibilities, more what is the word? Ways of what we look at in the market, what determines the price to go up and down, cycles and seasons, for instance. So I don't want to give too much away. When you sign up for one of the courses, we can share that with you. But one thing I can tell you, it's going to be the most exciting journey of your life. Bitcoin is not just the only coins that you can trade with. There are thousands of other coins as well. Altcoins, for instance, are any other cryptocurrencies that aren't Bitcoin. These coins were created after Bitcoin. Roel always referred to Bitcoin as maybe the grandmother, and then they had children, they had other cryptocurrencies, and then they were called altcoins, and then out of that, more coins was born. So the family is big. So these are cousins and cousins of cousins and more cousins of cousins and friends. So yeah, but sometimes these altcoins, or penny stocks as we often refer to them, are even better alternatives to the premier cryptocurrencies. Altcoins make up nearly 40% of the total cryptocurrency market, according to CoinMarketCap. When you do one of our courses, we also teach you everything about CoinMarketCap. We'll give you some information as to how we do our research. Risks in trading with crypto versus Forex. Of course, there are risks in cryptocurrency trading with cryptocurrency as well as Forex trading, but the risk in cryptocurrencies are much lower than the risk in Forex trading. Trading in crypto can be done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 366 days a year. There are no closures. There's no brokers to sign up with. What you buy, you own, unlike conventional Forex. You can move digital assets to your computer or hardware wallets. You can arbitrage trade, permitting it is within the same exchange. They don't allow arbitrage trading from one exchange to other exchange. Used to work like that. It's a whole course by itself, so I'm not going to go into detail with that. Trading on local exchanges is the ultimate introduction to getting started in the markets. Learn how to read the markets and graph. This is vitally important. Learn what influences the markets, and there's some very exciting theories and methodology and philosophies around that. And then, of course, there's different trading types. There's a day trader, scalp trader, position trader, swing trader. Not going to go into detail with this. Sometimes you're all of them. Sometimes you're just a day trader. Sometimes just scalp trader or position or swing trader. It depends on your personality, really, and it depends on your strategy. Depends what you want to do with your money, and how you want to make it more. Do you just have an investment mindset? It all depends on that. These are things that you will learn in depth. So most of all, we want you to be in control of your own money and of your own funds. So let's look at some examples quickly. This is what we call a one-day graph over a few years. So we started 2016 at the bottom here, and it goes right through to 2021. So this is what the typical graph would look like. And yeah, of course, when you're on the exchanges, you can make these graphs. You can stretch them. You can make them smaller. You can make a minute graph or hour graph, but this is what a one-day graph look like over a few years. So every one of these candlesticks represent 1 day. Then we look at a one-day graph zoomed in, and you'll now begin to see that there are what we call candlesticks, green candlesticks and red candlesticks. If it's a very sharp upward movement, we call it a bull run, sorry. And if it's a very sharp downward red candlesticks, we call it a bear run. But you can see that it sometimes goes up and down the whole time. Folks, there are endless ways of reading these graphs and interpreting these graphs. There are endless, I won't say endless, but there's a lot of indicators that can go on top of this. You'll learn how to draw support and resistance lines. It tells you stories. Even these indicators, or these, not the indicators, the candlesticks, there are a various amount of different candlesticks, and different candlesticks tells you different stories, how to look at the market and what is going to happen. So everything gives an indication of what's the next step. So a lot of people forecast, a lot of people project what is going to happen. A lot of people are right and a lot of people are wrong. So careful who you listen to on YouTube. I have to tell you this story quickly. My husband, there was a long time ago, we had a trader and he came to us and he was very skeptical, and he said to us after we've done a presentation similar to this, he says, no, he's not going to do one of our courses. He's just going to follow everything on YouTube, but he's a dentist. So Roel said to him, okay, so if I want to become a dentist, I'm also just going to go and look at YouTube videos. Folks, to become a trader, a professional trader, you need education. And a presentation like this is really the start. But if you are absolutely passionate and you are excited about what you see here tonight, and you really want to start to learn how to trade, then I'm telling you, it's a journey and it is a profession. And whenever you do anything professionally, you need education. So don't ever stop educating, and don't think that YouTube is going to be good enough for you to be educated. All right, so let's get back to the graph. So these are just then the candlesticks. So what does it look like then when you trade? This is a 4-hour graph. So if I could buy as low as here, and on the right hand side we're looking at 880,000 Rand, buy low and sell high. So I buy low on 880,000 Rand, but I sell on 980,000 Rand. Look what happened. I made 11,000% profit. But remember, this is a 4-hour graph. So I made 11,000%. Did I say 11,000 Rand? Forgive me, 11,000% in 4 hours. So if I can make 11% in 4 hours, selling 100,000 Rand more, how much more can I make if I buy, sell, buy, sell? If I do this 10 times a day, that's some food for thought. So this, folks, is exactly what crypto trading is about. You buy low and you sell high. And yes, the market goes up and down, market goes up and down. But we will share all our secrets with you and our strategies on our intellectual property, how we do it and what we look at, so that you can become a professional trader and know what you are doing and obviously make lots of money. So let's just have a look at this. Just want to move that quickly. So understand the markets. To really become a successful trader, you need to learn to understand the markets. Buying, selling is one aspect, but to know when to buy and when to sell is a different ballgame altogether. Researching the markets and reading the graphs is but a drop in the bucket. A great start to a world of crypto trading. So are you ready? Folks, the decision is yours, whether you're just going to buy cryptocurrency to gift, or whether you're going to buy cryptocurrency to trade. We have an entry-level course, which is our baby traders course. It's an absolutely amazing course. And it's really for people who want to test the water and start right at the beginning. But it's enough for you to learn how to start trading and how to start making money. These are just briefly our curriculum. The ABC course of Bitcoin, blockchain, and crypto trading is what you've done tonight. It was completely for free. Opening Bitcoin and cryptocurrency account, we coach you, mentor you through that. Obviously, there's a cost to that. There's a cost on all the other courses, but you are welcome to contact us through the people who introduced you to this course tonight. They will be able to put you in touch with us. Trading and profiting on altcoin trader, BitBuyBit, Bitcoin beginners crypto traders program. We have got a basic beginners, we've got a intermediate, we've got an advanced, astro science, and an apprenticeship program. Obviously, there are regular trade athlons. So once you start trading, you can plug into signals groups, you can plug into regular trade athlons where we trade live, where we trade in a group. So you're not doing this alone. There's coaching and consulting, and of course you get a certificate on completion. And this constitutes my presentation to you tonight, my free course to you, not just mine and my husband Ruel. And this is complimentary for you tonight from BitBuyBit. So thank you very much. And I really thank you for your time that you've sat into our course. And we hope to see you soon, and either to on one of our other courses where we're going to teach you how to open your own exchange and how to fund your account, how to buy and how to send, either one of those courses or one of our other BitBuyBit courses. So thank you very much, and really hope to see you soon.